Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, been holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a
Hello everybody. I just thought that was my hair, but it's like a weird part of the shoulder of the dress. Anyways, Drunk Beaver Productions is lurking. NPC saying yay. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Paisley. That's right, me. Your favorite neighborhood Canadian girl. I'm sorry today did not go as planned. It's a very long story that doesn't need to be retold, I promise you. I apologize, but we're here now. And the good news is the beginning of my day went almost good. I got so much court today. I mean, I say that every day. Oh, whatever. And the world turns. As the world turns, they say. But this judge dealt with some sass today. Also, I think we're going to see a unique extracurricular argued, one that probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but I would love, Cellulite Yoga Pants started something great there. Get your guesses in the chat, or if you're watching this in the future and you're not totally turned off by me speaking right now, go ahead and put a comment down below and let us know what you believe it will be. Now, here's the thing. You can cheat if you really want to be a comment winner. I actually approve of that because of how few comments I get. You could win. You could win. Okay? MB's winning right now. Why doesn't it show up? Will it show up if I go like this? Will it show up if I go like that? Will it show up anywhere? Or is it just saying, no, you're fat? No, I'm just kidding. MB! I love you. $4.99. Happy Monday to you too. I hope your day is good. I'm really upset with Streamlabs. Streamlabs, Jesus. Oh my gosh. Adam's here. Adam, Streamlabs is spewing out Jesus stuff. I love it, you guys. I'm kidding. Also, my hair is obnoxiously long. It's upsetting. It's bothering me. It's bothering me. Does anybody else get bothered by their hair? Thank you. This is my, I think it was $10 or $11 dress. Jesus, take the wheel. Take us to court, Jesus. Okay, Paisley. That's how Jesus talks, if you didn't know. Okay, Paisley. Taking the wheel. Sometimes that happens when I'm sleeping, Adam. I wrap myself up and then I pull and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And it's like me trying to strangle myself. Somebody dig through the trauma on that. This woman's wearing a bathrobe, folks. Ain't she? Is that not a robe? Also, we're gonna see some titties. No, not the whole things, YouTube daddy. Don't worry that much about it. Just the outline. But that's, sometimes enough. Really depends who you are, where you've been, what you've been doing. If outline of titty is enough for you. I count on it, really. I sort of do. I count on the outline being just enough. Okay. Also, I told you guys to get snacks and then I didn't. So that's depressing. But we'll think about it. We'll think about the snacks.
Okay, what's your next one?
Number two, Your Honor.
That
All right,
has to be a bathrobe robe, and
Irvin
she's doing
Hall
laundry.
and Nicole Trammell, please unmute and turn on your camera.
She's like, shit, this ain't my turn. Ma'am, you look. She's like doing laundry. But don't worry, it gets crazier. Here we go with Mr. Irvin Hall, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Irvin Hall. Bathrobe boobs. Ah, yes.
All right, do you both swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Hesford, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would like the court to take judicial notice that both parties are here and a copy of the state's petition was sent to them via email.
So noted.
Thank you. We have a partial agreement. I will read the agreed portions and then take testimony on conservatorship and child support, which are the contested issues. Parties are in agreement that when three children were born, the father signed an acknowledgement of paternity, and the fourth child was born during the marriage. Parties are in agreement that there's been no acts of family violence in the last 2 years. Parties are in agreement to a mutual non-disclosure of their address. Parties are in agreement to a state standard possession with an exchange location of the Duncanville Police Station at 203 East Wheatland Road, Duncanville, Texas, 75116. Parties are in agreement to no geographic restriction. Father's gross income is $4,767 with a net resource of $3,915. Parties are in agreement for cash medical to be paid at $85 beginning July 1st, 2025.
Viking Jim is in agreement that Paisley's channel rocks. Oh, I love that. I can get behind that. Or in front of it. On my knees. You know, whatever it takes. Okay. My hair is up. 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 Thank you so much for 6 months of support, by the way, Viking Jim. Love it. Oh, look at it. People are bartering. We're bartering different types of body improving or changing surgeries. I just want you all to know that I love you the way you are. Just like I know you love me the way I am, even though I would love to change it all. So keep that in mind. Even people you see, because I'm on some people's TV. Yeah, I think that's crazy too. But technically, I'm the lady, I could be the lady on TV. I can't see you, Vicky. Vicky! God damn it, Vicky. Don't abuse your wrench. You have to agree. No, I'm just joking. Of course you can disagree. But I believe all of you are beautiful. You are on TV, Mikey. You're on TV I bet you're on TV right now. You're on my TV, technically, your name. And then by proxy, just like when you look in a mirror and then you have another mirror, and then there's just like this constant reflection deep into the mirror over and over again. That's sort of like what this is like, because I'm on TV, your name is on TV over and over and over again. It's excellent. Hi, how are you? Seriously, also, yeah, you were on the radio. I love it when people tell you guys you should think about working on the radio. Anyways, all right, let's do the case.
The children are on the government medical plan.
How Canadian of them.
Parties are in agreement to no retroactive child support and court costs is billed. Miss Trammell, can you please state your full name?
Nicole Trammell.
Name and ages of your children?
Noah Hall, 15. Jacob Hall, he's 11. Irvin Hall, the 4th, he's 8. And Elijah Hall is 1.
Ma'am, did you hear the agreed portions that I read earlier?
Yes.
Are those still your agreements?
Just for medical to be paid?
Everything I read earlier, are those still your agreements?
Yes.
Do you believe they're in the best interest of your children?
Yes.
And are you asking the court to accept those portions?
Yes.
And the non-disclosure is only of your address, correct?
Correct.
Based on the father's income, the state's asking for child support to be set at $1,370 beginning July 1st, 2025. Are you
Okay, we can guess that Irvin, based on his closed eyes, is not in agreement. But Mikey or anybody in the chat, can you guess what amount Irvin thinks is appropriate for his 4 children? Sorry. That's my phone. His 4 children. Adam, I've hung out with Courtney before. She's super fun. And I love her. Sometimes I wonder, Mikey, if you are just a better YouTuber, a better court watcher, or if perhaps you've seen these cases. I don't know if it's 400, but I think you're close. Let's find out. Oh, and Courtney, I want to come back. But first, we need to guess the extracurriculars. He is going to volley off a number of extracurriculars that he pays for. I like Bill's guess, by the way, 0. That he pays for. So get your guesses in as to what obscure extracurricular he pays for that means he don't need to pay child support. I'd love to hear your guesses. Also, rowing is very common around here. What? We have a rowing program here where I live because the climate is amenable to outdoor rowing year-round on lakes. So yeah, I guess it's common for rich people too. It's always the rich people.
in agreement to that?
Yes.
And you understand that was based on guidelines, correct?
Yes.
The father is asking to be named joint managing conservators with you. Are you in agreement to that?
No.
And you're asking to be named the sole managing conservator?
Yes.
Why do you feel that you're unable to make decisions together with the father?
Because he doesn't cooperate with anything. I can't even talk to him. He's non-cooperative.
So you two are not able to amicably discuss matters pertaining to your children?
No. Not at all. I have a disabled son. I can't even talk to him about anything that's going on with him.
Okay. I pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right.
Mr. Hall, can you please state your full name?
Irvin Hall III.
Mr. Hall, did you hear the earlier portions that I read as an agreement?
Okay, as this is going to label me as a geek, cellulite yoga pants, I have to say, I guess you row a rowboat. Do you canoe? You don't, there's different strokes in canoeing. I learned that in Girl Guides. J stroke, backstroke, fancy paddling too. There was a song. Anyways, but I don't think you row canoes. You paddle them and you row rowboats. I think that's the key. Yes. You can also portage a canoe. Extra credit if you know what that means.
Yes, I did.
Are those portions still your agreement?
Yes, everything is except $1,000, $1,300. Yes.
Are you asking the court to accept the earlier portions that I read?
Yes.
And do you believe they're in your children's best interests?
Yes.
Sir, the state is asking for guideline child support to be set at $1,370 beginning July 1st, 2025. Are you in agreement with that?
No.
Can you explain why you don't want to pay guideline child support?
Oh, before he explains about that, first of all, thank you, Sashina, for 18 months. Your OG favorite channel. We love you. Thank you for being here. Also, here's the thing. So, Viking Jim got it. To portage a canoe is to carry it across land from one waterway to another. So, in the land of lakes, which is Canada, we have the most lakes in the world. Oftentimes, you may start a canoeing trip in one lake. You will canoe through that lake as far as you can, and then you portage the canoe. The way that you do that is that you fucking put it over your head, you put your backpack on your back, and likely two of you put the canoe on your heads, and you walk a trail to the next lake where you are able to get back into the water and paddle all the way to the next portage. Funny enough, I've done that. I guess I forget that is not a common activity for everybody, but that is definitely something that I did when I was younger. I grew up in British Columbia in the outdoors, and it is beautiful here. I will give it that, but it's often wet because it's a rainforest. And so one of the things, I'll tell this quick story, then we'll get back to the story. We'll hear how he doesn't want to pay for any of this shit for his kid. But before we get angry about that, when I was in Girl Guides, which is the Girl Scouts in America, one of the things that you have to learn how to do is roll your sleeping gear so that it's waterproof. Huh? You say, huh? To 9-year-old Paisley, who is not maybe the best listener in the world, maybe a little focused on other things. And anyways, you were literally taught to fold your sleeping bag into a tarp, roll it up so that it would be waterproof, and then they tossed it in the lake before our week-long camping trip. Anyways, I guess it was waterproof enough. You cheat and bring a trash bag. They fucking inspect at MB. I've never been in such a militaristic environment in my life. I rebelled. I have to explain that I was not well received in the Girl Guides. I incited problems. I encouraged the girls to fight back against arbitrary rules. I remember it very clearly. I was like, that was just the way I was. Anyways, but I'm also tenacious and fucking stubborn as shit. So would you believe that I not only went on from Girl Guides, but what the next level is, which means you're older. This is before or after your parents have made you do it. You become a pathfinder, and yes, I did that. There was less rowing or canoeing and paddling in that version, but still a lot of cookie selling. Huh. Maybe that was the beginning of my selling background.
Yes, documented records showing that in 2024, during our separation, I've given Miss Trammell $10,000 in child support for my children.
So we're not
Uh,
asking for retroactive child support. This would be future child support starting on July 1st, 2025, going forward, not arrears. No, there are no arrears.
well, also, I apologize for that. Moving forward, I've been able to put my children in social development, extracurricular activities, and social development programs as far as STEM programs.
Okay, did anybody get an extracurricular program for STEM? I don't think I saw that yet. But if you're cheating and you want to be so cool, later on when you watch this, you can leave a comment and say, I knew it was a STEM program. Oh, yes. And I'll heart that. And everybody else will come comment on it and be like, you're amazing. I promise.
Um, Athletic programs. Um, my son is getting ready to go to the NASA Space University that I paid for, and
So
so I cannot believe. Go ahead.
you're
Did he just say he's going to NASA Space University? I'm sorry. Is that what he said? Did he? First of all, do you guys have that? I have been to the NASA, the Space Center in Houston, by the way. Um, isn't that like a summer camp? And I'm not trying to be rude. I obviously want to go to this camp. Regardless of my age, if somebody paid for it, I would go. I would film it.
2025, going forward, not arrears. No, there are no arrears.
Well, also, I apologize for that. Moving forward, I've been able to put my children in social development, extracurricular activities, and social development programs as far as STEM programs, um, athletic programs. Um, my son is getting ready to go to the NASA Space University that I paid for, and
So
so I cannot believe. Go
you're
ahead.
asking for child support to be lowered because you pay for extracurricular activities and other outside programs that you pay for.
As well as clothing, other resources, and things and items that they need as well, because I cannot trust her with the money anymore. She does not actively put that towards them, and so I can't trust her with money. Um,
How much are you asking for child support to be set at?
uh, $400 a month. I give my sons $100.
Mikey, you were right! Now I owe you 1,000,000 KCC points. God damn it. That arrangement. Also, red flags much? I have my red flags fan, watermelon edition. $400 for 4 kids? Look at the judge's face. Look at the judge's face. He's like, bitch. Do you know how much money I spent on groceries this week? $200. Do I wish I was kidding? Yeah. I fucking really wish I was kidding. I wasn't. That's I can't imagine what 4 kids would eat.
So you
I
want child support set at $400 a month for all 4 children?
Yep.
Court costs are billed to you today. Are you in agreement?
No.
Are you asking the court to waive court costs today?
Yes.
And can you explain why?
I'm in the process of moving. I don't have the money. I do give my money to my children as well, so I don't have
Okay,
the money for court costs.
okay. I pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, the parts all agreed to at the beginning, those are all fine. I don't understand what your argument is, Mr. Hall. You have to understand that kids do not have to pay bills. They don't pay the house or a rent bill. They don't pay for electricity or water. They don't pay for groceries. They don't pay for gas. So giving the children money directly is a gift. You don't
Can we get an amen in the chat for the judge? Finally calling it like it is for these fucking assholes. Oh, she should be able to manage 4 kids on $400, Judge. That should buy a lot of food. What about their fucking house? Dude. Absolutely ridiculous. Preach, Judge. Preach.
they don't pay those bills. That's not money that's going to them, and the whole amount of child support isn't going to go to them. It's so they have a place to live primarily, and they can enjoy the things like that I just mentioned. They get in the car, they go have a place to live, and things like that. That's money that the mother, who's the custodial parent, will decide how to use that money. It's not about you trusting her with money. It's money going into the household for your 4 kids. That's not cheap for 4 kids to pay all those bills. I'm sure they eat a lot and things like that. And so that's not how this works. It's not how child support works. It's not child support for the children. It's child support to maintain the children. If there's any money left over, then the custodial parent, then you can use it to maybe give them an allowance or buy extra things for them. But that's up to them to decide. You don't get to decide for the custodial parents. They make those decisions. So your child support is going to be $1,370. If
I
you
don't
want to
get to
pay for,
respond to
if
that.
you want to pay for extra stuff, that's called extracurricular. That's up to you. I'm not obligating you to do that. If you need to cut back on some of that, that's fine too. That's up to you. Sometimes we have to make decisions as parents and say no. So that's up to you, but I'm not giving you credit for any of the extracurricular activities that are not a part of this child support. So you have to pay this first before you do anything else. Any money you give to your kids directly, any clothes you buy for them directly, anything like that does not
Yeah,
count.
she's not mentally fit to
Excuse
be a
me, sir,
mother.
I'm talking. I don't know if you know how the court works, but I'm the judge. I decide your case. So this is my ruling. You need to listen to my ruling so you understand. That is not how it works. Child support is going to be $1,370 a month. Since y'all don't communicate, sounds very simple. Y'all don't I have agreed to a lot of stuff that kind of points towards y'all being so managing because y'all can't even have each other's addresses and have to have an exchange location at a police station. Well, there's no reason for me to even talk about joint managing because that tells me right off just from the very beginning y'all don't communicate very well. So I'm appointing Ms. Trammell as the sole managed conservator. You will be paying court costs. Dallas County will be sending you a bill for that, Mr. Hall. That's the way this works. When you file lawsuit gets filed, there are court costs. You're the one that's gonna have to pay that. All right. The Attorney General's office is gonna put that all in writing for me to sign. That'll be the court order. Y'all must follow. They'll send out a withholding order. And so make sure that
Holy shit, he looks like a fucking cone head at that angle, sir. Don't do that to yourself. You have to check these things beforehand. Believe me, I check angles beforehand. Don't worry. This is just the beginning. It was like Dumb, Dumber, and Dumbest in this fucking courthouse today. The judge was just not having it. He's never having it, to be honest. He's never fucking having it. But dependent, like, this is him really not having it. Explaining it. Excuse me, sir. Extra. Read all about it. Judge don't care. No reason to pout it.
y'all are all all follow in the order and that what you're supposed to be doing, even if you don't agree. All right, y'all are done with court. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.
Next! Well, if he doesn't want to pay shit, he's going to have to quit his job, ladies and gentlemen, because the Attorney General of Texas is pretty damn good at getting
Your Honor,
their
we
money.
can do number
Okay,
5.
ma'am. Who? Which number? What? What's your favorite number? Tell me in the chat.
All right, Delfino Hernandez and Tavana Mays, please unmute and turn on your cameras.
Bathrobe lady coming up.
Hello?
Waiting for you to turn on your video, Mr. Hernandez.
Guess what he's
Ms.
doing?
Mays, you need to unmute. You need to find a quiet room, Ms. Mays.
Good morning.
You need to find a quiet room.
Sorry, can you hear me?
I don't think either one of you are listening to me. Mr. Hernandez,
No,
you need to turn on
I'm
your
listening to
video.
you.
Ms. Mays, you need to find a quiet place.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm trying to get my daughter situated right now.
Okay, do you want me to come back to you later on then?
No, I'm ready.
Okay, she in another room?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Hernandez, waiting on you to turn on your camera.
How do this? Sorry, I'm trying to. Okay, there it goes. Okay.
All right, do you both swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, I'm noting that both are present and have made an appearance. Go ahead and proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're here on the suit affecting the parent-child relationship. We have a partial agreement. I'll read the agreed portions, and then we'll take testimony on the contested issues. Parties are in agreement that there's been no family violence between them in the last 2 years. The child is under the mother's health and dental insurance through her employer at a cost of $800 for 4 people. Parties are in agreement that the father has one other minor child. No geographic restriction. Father's gross income is $3,466.67 with net income of $2,955.34. Father is in agreement to pay child support in the amount of $495 a month beginning July 1st, 2025. Cash medical reimbursed to the mother for $115 a month beginning July 1st, 2025. Dental insurance of $12 a month beginning July 1st, 2025. Parties are in agreement for retroactive child support in the amount of $17,820.48.
Oh my god, $17,000, and then this lady went back in a dimension. This is a watermelon flag, Sashina, but it counts as a red flag. It's hot as fuck here. We're in a warming event, which means it may get up to 72 degrees. I'm not joking. There was an alert about that. Also, I just dropped my fan and then I had to pick it up with my toes. But I have it back. Back, baby. Anyways, what's happened to her? She was doing bathrobe things earlier. And now she looks like she's appearing from the 17th century. Or the 18th century, perhaps. I don't know.
As of June 1st, 2025, to be repaid at $139 a month beginning July 1st, 2025. Court costs is billed to the father. The rest are contested, and I'll take testimony. Ms. Mays, can you please state your full name?
Savannah Mays.
Name and age of your daughter?
Just Trauma Giselle Mays Hernandez, and her age is 2. She'll be 3 in July.
Ma'am, did you just hear the terms that I read?
I did.
Are those parts your agreement?
Sure.
Do you believe they're in your child's best interests?
Sure. Yes.
Are you asking the court to accept those terms?
Yes.
Now let's talk about the parts that there's no agreement, okay?
Okay.
You understand the father's asking to be named joint managing conservator,
Okay.
and you're not in agreement with that?
No.
And can you state why you're not in agreement to be named joint managing conservators with Mr. Hernandez?
Number one, because I've been managing my child since she was born, with no input from him. Like I said, we don't communicate well at all. We don't work together well. There's a lot of conflict between us, and so I just believe for the best interest of her, and to get things done, I would like to just remain the sole conservator. And there is
Hold on, this looks really cool. Oh, don't fall now, Coke. Don't fall now. Stick to my bosom. Stick to my bosom. Look at D. Hernandez enjoys it. Judge Aguilar is pissed. He's like, Paisley, we've talked about this before. Bill's leaving. Look what you're doing to people. You're breaking apart families, our KCC family. I'm joking. Good night, Bill. But Judge has had it with me. I've had it with me, to be honest. I'm so needy. They're not magnetic. They're just, I guess, bigger than they look. I don't know how it's sitting there, to be honest. It's a little concerning.
there's no difference between custody and, like, visitation. It doesn't have regard visitation. That's usually what he's concerned most about, is the visitation. So
And is it true that Mr. Hernandez lives in San Antonio?
to my knowledge, yes.
And that's over
That's-
100 miles, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You understand that the father is requesting to have the state standard possession for over 100 miles, which is one weekend a month?
No, that is my superpower. You just witnessed greatness. You saw me take the fan. I threw the fan, and then I picked up the fan with my toes. All you foot freaks. And the Coke stayed. It stayed the whole time until now. And you know what it says on here? It says what you all are to me. My friends. Amis. Mes amis. Mes amis.
Okay.
If you can answer yes or no, so we can be clear.
Yes.
Okay. And you are not in agreement with him to have the state standard possession, is that correct?
No.
You're asking for the father to have supervised visitation,
Yes.
and you're asking for him to have supervised visitation Saturdays 2 to 6 and Sundays 2 to 6 once a month, is that correct?
No, Saturdays was the 12 to 8 was fine. And then Sundays to the 6.
You're asking for one Saturday a month from 12 to 8, and then the following Sunday from 2 to 6.
Yes.
Has there been, you stated there's been no acts of family violence against you, correct?
No.
And has there been acts of family violence against your child?
No.
Can you state why you want Mr. Hernandez to have supervised visits?
It mostly has to do with her time traveling, to be honest. You can see here she has disappeared, and that's pretty common. The children are tied to her in the time travel universe, and so it's actually extremely tough to continue the visitation like that. I mean, seriously, she's been in and out this whole time.
So I just feel more comfortable with another party being present during visitation at all times due to safety precautions for my daughter. As I said before, he's not been physically stable, nor mentally stable since I've known him. I'm not even sure if he is, living on his own. I don't know anything about his living situation. As far as I've known him, he's always lived with someone else, which I'm not comfortable with that. And also, there's just been, conflict, and the things that I know about him, he's he's kind of um he's kind of a manipulative kind of person, and he's made comments about taking my daughter to San Antonio, basically without my permission. And so just those type of things I don't like to joke about or play about when it comes to my child. And so I just feel more comfortable if somebody else is present to make sure that, she returns to me after the visitation.
And the supervised visits would be by your mother?
If possible, I'm not sure if she'd be willing to do that, because they've had conflict issues in the past. So I'm not sure. I would have to speak to her about that.
Who are you wanting to do the visitation if
So the only other person that I could utilize would be like I said, a paid supervised personnel.
The judge is disgusted. Mr. Hernandez is bemused. And Viking Jim, I was thinking more like Outlander rules. That's what I was thinking. Outlander.
Okay. Um, you're wanting a non-disclosure of your address, is that correct?
That's correct.
And you're wanting an exchange location at the Kroger at 1060 North Main Street, Euless, Texas 76039.
Yes,
And um, you are okay with the father having your phone number, correct?
that's fine.
Okay. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, card your footers.
Mr. Hernandez, can you please state your full name?
Delfino Sebastian Hernandez.
Sir, earlier I read some terms as an agreement. Were those terms still your agreement today?
Yes.
Do you believe they're in the best interest of your child? You nodded. Can you please say yes or no?
Oh, I said yes. Sorry. I don't know if you can.
Okay, no problem. Are you asking the court to accept those earlier terms?
Yes.
Okay, now let's talk about the parts that we didn't agree to. Even though you live 100 miles in San Antonio, you're asking to be named joint managing conservators with the mother?
Yes.
Do you believe that you can make decisions amicably with the mother in your child's best interest?
Like being able to cooperate and make decisions with her.
Yes.
I would like to. I don't have an issue with that at all.
Okay. Are
I
you
mean,
able
I
to
don't necessarily.
communicate with her now?
No, she has had me blocked since last February.
Okay. You heard that the mother's wanting a non-disclosure of her address,
I heard.
and you're not in agreement with that?
No, I would like to send my daughter gifts.
Okay, so you're asking to be made aware of the address where your child resides, is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to be alienated anymore.
Okay,
I would like to send at least some gifts and things to my daughter.
okay. Are you in agreement for the supervised visits one Saturday from 12
No,
to 8 p.m.?
not
You're
at
not
all.
in,
No.
okay, so you're asking for the state standard possession, is that correct? The one
Yes,
weekend a
just
month.
because. Yes, I have been at my same address for the last few years. You can go look at my employment history of my previous employer. Still there. Still the address I use.
Okay.
Um,
So are you
I
in
don't know.
agreement? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I wasn't aware of any of her accusations ever, to be honest. And her husband tried to threaten me in public at a McDonald's. He's always made threats. I have a threat.
Oh my god. Please respect the sanctity of McDonald's. Folks, the play place is a special place. It's a place where I was stuck as a child in Ronald McDonald's lap. That is a trauma story that I've recounted before. I choose not to recount it again. But let me just say, please fucking respect the sanctity of a McDonald's or find yourself a 2-level McDonald's. They exist. You can fight on one level and the kids can play on the other. But yeah, is her husband the one that's like beaming her out of this Zoom hearing? What is going on? Also, if he wanted to fuck with, or if she wanted to fuck with a dad's rights, this ain't the judge to do it in front of. He is not fucking happy.
Voice threat that she's aware of on my phone, a voice clip. I could turn that in if I have to separately for another case. But we got along just fine until she met her new person and her new husband. And ever since her new husband has came into the picture, he has been the issue,
Okay.
and he is the one that had me blocked.
Okay. Are you in agreement for the exchange location? That's located at, is that the Kroger on 1060 North Main Street, Euless, Texas, 76039?
No, no,
You're wanting to pick up the child at the mother's address, is that correct?
as I used to. Yeah,
You're
we
wanting to
got
drop off the child after visitation at the mother's address, is that correct?
correct. If we got to take lie
Okay.
detector tests, that's like I used to pick her up and drop her off. I used to hang out there at her apartment with her, with my daughter.
Okay. All right. I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, just one quick question, Mr. Hernandez. Before February, you had a relationship with your child and you visited.
Yeah, I would send gifts through Cash App. I would send money, and she would
I didn't
still
ask
make
about
me wait.
gifts. I didn't ask about gifts.
No,
I don't get Cash App, only PayPal, sir. But also look at this. I can put my hair on the top of my head, and it still looks like long ass hair. Anyways, I think that she's fucking around. Honestly, that's what I think's happening here.
yeah, no. I had contact with her, text, phone calls.
You visited personally though as well?
Yeah, I would spend the night in her apartment there with her family, letting me so I can hang out with my daughter.
Okay. All right. The parts I agreed to at the beginning, those are all fine. Those will be part of the court order. Being that y'all don't live near each other, I'll grant mother's request for the sole managing conservatorship. It'd be pretty hard to work together to make decisions if y'all don't live in the same city. San Antonio's pretty far away for that, so that's the main reason why I'm doing sole managing. Y'all reported there's been no family violence, and so I'm not granting your non-disclosure request, Ms. Mays. Both of y'all are required and obligated by the court order to notify the other party where you live. Anytime that either one of you move, you need to notify the other party where you move to. That's part of a court orders here. There's no reason for us to do anything different. Um, Y'all have to figure out a way to work together. Y'all made this child together, and so y'all are gonna. There's only three people involved, not other people. I understand that when the child is with you, that you will have to keep make sure your child is safe from other people. And that's an assumption that both y'all should have when the child is in the other parent's care. There's no reason for supervised visitation. I know visitation will be difficult as it is with Mr. Hernandez living in San Antonio, so it's already going to be pretty hard. It's in the child's best interest, even if it isn't in your parents' best interest, for the child to visit with father as much as possible. You may not like it, but the child will. So it's kind of more of a child's right to visit with both of you, and they do want to visit with both of you, even if you have a different opinion. So there's no reason for supervised visits. We're going to do standard visitation, exchanges at mother's address. Again, y'all reported no family violence issues. There's no reason for Mr. Hernandez to come into your residence. He's going to pick up at the doorstep, and he can go to San Antonio if he likes, if he has enough time. That's not illegal. There's nothing wrong with that. He lives in San Antonio. He's going to go wherever he lives. That's not something that's unusual. That's what happens. Obviously, if he only has a weekend, it may not be practical. Maybe Mr. Hernandez will wind up staying in Dallas for the weekends when we do the weekends. But that's up to him. That's his choice. If he wants to pick up the child and on Friday night and take the child all the way to San Antonio and then drive back by Sunday night, that's up to him. He has that choice. He's the father of the child. Um, so exchanges at mother's address, not at this exchange location. There's no need for that. There's been no family violence. If you all agree to something different on the visitation, I definitely recommend that. But that takes two people agreeing to it, not just one person telling the other person what they're going to do. You're going to have to follow my court orders, even if you don't agree with them, because that's what's been court ordered. All right, so very important here. There hasn't been a lot of visitation recently for really no reason at all. So I want to make sure we're clear. It's the summer. There are two plans for visitation. One, if you live within 100 miles, you get every other weekend and you get 30 days in the summer. If you live over 100 miles away, Mr. Hernandez gets to pick a weekend once per month to do visitation. He needs to let you know, Ms. Mays, when that will be. Hopefully as soon as possible, maybe at the latest by Thursday of that weekend so that you can make plans. But that he will have one weekend a month. Since it's the summer, it's going to be extended visitation to 42 days because so we're losing some visits because of the distance. Mr. Hernandez has 42 days of visitation in the summer instead of the 30 days. So since the orders will read that he has to give you notice by April 1st of what 42 days he wants, obviously we're in June, so that's not going to happen for this year. In the future, if he wants to specify different dates, then he can, but the default order reads that if he never gives you notice, he gets visitation from June 15th through July 27th. So just make sure y'all understand that he will have the child from June 15th to July 27th this year, like in a few days. During that month, of course, the child support begins July 1st. So even though you have possession in July, you still got to pay child support in July. So your child support will be 12 months of the year, not just 11 months of the year. So I just want to make sure you understand that as well, Mr. Hernandez, that you still have to pay child support, even though you have the child that month. All right. Hopefully y'all can figure things out here for the future. You need to make sure that other people are not influencing you or trying to make you do something different. Remember, again, there's only three of you involved in this case. Two of you chose to have this child. Only you two are the ones that make decisions, not other people, not new spouses or new boyfriends or girlfriends. They don't matter. Their opinion does not matter. You have to decide. And y'all two decided, y'all were the only two that people that were present, and you're the only two people that should be making those decisions. If y'all cannot reach an agreement on issues, read your court order. It'll probably answer the questions on those, and you must follow that even if you don't agree with my decision. All right, the Attorney General's office will put that in writing and email you a copy. Y'all are done with court. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Thank you.
We're done, Mr. Mays. Follow my
Your
orders.
Honor,
Follow my orders.
I didn't get to
Follow my
speak.
orders. Follow my orders.
I didn't get to speak to you, Your Honor.
You did. You testified already. You answered the questions that Ms. Few asked you, and you testified, and that's how I made a decision.
But on my testimony, I said that he was a drug user, so I'm not sure how it's allowed for my child to be in the custody of someone
We're
who's
done, Ms.
using drugs.
Hayes. We're done. You didn't prove your case. You did not prove your case.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we have an add-on number 33. It's a non-agreed CSRP.
Oh, we
What is
love when
the
they're
cause number?
not agreed. Ma'am, here's a pro tip for you. Dress the fuck up for court.
DF 16 25166.
She couldn't have appeared more nonchalant about it, to be honest, in her appearance. I'm not trying to be rude. That's just the reality. It's like when people fucking show up to court wearing t-shirts versus wearing dress clothes, folks. Not on the bottoms, but don't stand up, bro. So we've had 2 ring dingers for Judge here. Now what the fuck's about to happen? Let's find out. Let's see.
Okay. Clayton, Lawrence, and Taylor Wright, please unmute and turn on your cameras. All right, do you both swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, help you God?
Yes.
I didn't hear you, ma'am. Maybe you said it at the same time.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. All right, looks like y'all had a meeting with the Attorney General's office on May 1st, and y'all were not able to reach an agreement. The only 2 issues I think are child support and medical support. Looks like y'all both participated, so we have a hearing today on that, I guess. All right, Ms. if you go ahead and proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. We do have a full agreement on those terms that weren't agreed to previously. So the parties are still in agreement to all the other terms. I will just read the terms for today for the hearing. Parties are in agreement for child support to be set at $652 beginning July 1st, 2025. Parties are in agreement for medical support to be set at $250 a month beginning July 1st, 2025. And that's using the non-custodial parents' gross monthly income of $4,160 a month and the net resources of $3,262.44. Ms. Taylor, can you please state your full name?
Yes, ma'am. Taylor Wright.
Name and age of your child?
Macy Lawrence, 11.
Ma'am, during the hearing you had earlier, all the terms were agreed to except for child support and medical support. Is that correct?
Yes.
And today you were in agreement for child support to be set at $652 and medical support to be set at $200. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe the medical was 250.
Yes,
Oh,
$250.
yes, ma'am.
And that's to begin July 1st, 2025.
Yes.
Okay, I passed the witness. Mr. Lawrence, can you please state your full name?
It's Clayton Lawrence.
And sir, you also agreed that you participated in a CSRP on May 1st, 2025.
Yes.
And at that time, you were not in agreement to the medical support and child support. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
But today you are in agreement to pay $652 for child support and $250 for medical support. Is that correct?
Yes, the guy I spoke to that it was really quick. I didn't really get his name, but the OAG guy that guided me into this room pretty much broke it down for me and told me everything I needed to know. I wasn't in agreement because I have a second child that's due in August, and according to the parental guidelines of Texas, I was wanting to see if I could get my net resources dropped from 20% to 17.5. But he said I most likely probably wouldn't be able to do that until I came back again when the second child was born.
Okay. All right. I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, so it looks like there's a change from the prior proposed amount because medical is supposed to be 374, and y'all are reporting you're gonna do it at 250.
Yes.
And then child support originally was proposed at 628, and we're doing it at 652.
Yes, Your Honor.
So this is a change. Okay, so I guess I didn't understand that. Okay, all right. So we're confirming the proposed order with the changes that y'all agreed to today here in court, not the original proposed order. All right, the Attorney General's office will draft the changes for me to sign as a court order and then adjust that as well in the future. All right, you're done with court. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Be gone with you, neckbeard. It's time for next. Time for the
Number
next
31
one.
is a contested hearing, Your Honor, and we're
We
ready.
love
Okay.
them. Bring it on, baby, contested or not. At least he agreed.
All right, Nicholas Olvera and Gabriella Phillips, please
Oh,
unmute
yeah,
and turn on your
this is the
cameras.
one. I think this is the one.
Hello.
They contest a lot of
All right, do you
things.
both swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You should add a Maurice.
Sir, I didn't hear your
command.
answer.
Yes.
Okay. All right, go ahead and proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state's approaching on a suit affecting the parent-child relationship. A copy of the state's petition was sent to Ms. Phillips on her email, and the state is asking that the court take judicial notice that she's here.
So noted.
State's also asking for a trial amendment. The pleadings state that Mr. Wallace's name is Nicholas Olvera, which is his former name, but there's been a legal name change to Wallace, and the state's asking for a trial amendment for it to be changed to Wallace.
So noted. Right.
Parties are in agreement that there's been no family violence in the last 2 years. There's no request for a non-disclosure. Non-custodial parent is self-employed with a monthly gross income of $2,000, net income of $1,499.72. Parties are in agreement for child support to be set at $300 a month beginning July 1st, 2025. And parties are in agreement to be named joint managing conservators. That's the extent to our agreements, and I'll take testimony. Ms. Phillips, did you hear the agreed portion? I'm sorry, Ms. Phillips, can you state your full name?
Gabriella Elise Phillips.
Name and age of your child?
Calvin Carlos Wallace, and he's 5 years old.
And ma'am, how is your child covered for insurance?
With me from my employer.
And are you asking to be reimbursed for that amount?
And yes, with the person I spoke with before, they said that it would come out to $60 with the on top of the child support.
But your actual cost for the insurance is $158, is that correct?
Yes, a month.
Okay, and that's just for you and the child, is that just you two?
That's just for the child. With me
Child
it's a
support.
different price. Yes.
Okay, so for the child's portion is $158.
Yes.
So you're asking to be reimbursed $158.
Okay.
No.
Is that what you're asking?
It should be split between me and the other parent. So I am 158 divided by 2, I would say.
So you're fine with the $60 that
Yeah,
he's requesting?
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm.
Um, the parts that you agreed to, those are still your agreements? Say
Yeah,
yes or no?
yes,
Okay. And you're asking the court to accept the parts that I read as an agreement?
yes,
Okay. Is it true that you stopped living together January 2024?
yes,
Okay. And has the father been helping you financially since you stopped living together?
yes.
Okay. And the state's calculating retroactive child support since January 2024 to be $5,400. And you are in agreement to give Mr. Wallace credit for $2,000?
Yes.
Okay. Are you in agreement for a total retroactive child support judgment to be $3,400?
Could I request that it be lowered or
How much are you requesting it to be?
um well, we've just gotten down to being able to really communicate between us two. So if we could come up with an agreement on what would be fair for both parties. I know that both of our financial situations are not the best, and so I do take that into consideration. It's what's best for the child, not I don't want to screw the other parent, if that makes sense.
I need you to answer Ms. Phillips directly because y'all already tried to reach an agreement and y'all didn't reach an agreement. So I need
Okay.
to know what you specifically are asking for.
Our agreement was 0.
Mr. Wallace, nobody asked you.
Okay. I guess 0.
Okay.
So
You don't
you're
have to
not
do it just
requesting. I'm sorry.
you don't have to do it just because Mr. Wallace interrupted. You can tell me whatever you want. I'm not gonna just grant it just because you say it, but I need to know your opinion, Ms. Phillips.
Just 0. I'll just say 0.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
no retroactive child support.
Mm-mm.
Okay. The father's requesting, are you in agreement for the father to have the state standard possession, which is the alternating weekends? The first
Um,
2 weekends?
no, because he's in the state of Florida. Um, so it wouldn't work out that way. I believe it would be the person I spoke with before would be 1 weekend a month. Um, because he's over the 100-mile.
Yeah, he threw a tantrum in order to make her realize that she should let him say 0, and he was willing to interrupt the judge in the court hearing to say that, which shows a real lack of impulse control and a desire for manipulation. Allegedly, in my opinion.
So you're in agreement for him to have the one weekend for over 100 miles a month?
Yes.
Okay. Court costs are billed to Mr. Wallace today. Are you in agreement?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay.
Mr. Wallace, can you please state your full name? Sir, you're on mute. If you can unmute yourself.
Actually, somebody muted.
Yeah, by proxy, you muted yourself by speaking out of turn. There's this weird thing in certain courtrooms. Some courtrooms just allow you to go willy-nilly, but Judge Aguilar does not. He has an arrangement with his court coordinator that if he tells you to shut up once, you get muted. They don't make a big deal about it. They just fucking mute you. Nobody tells you, but you're goddamn muted. Okay? You don't want to be muted? Don't interrupt. It's actually very simple. He looks baffled. He literally looks baffled that he was muted. What? They weren't able to hear all my mutterings? all my out of turn comments? Oh my god. No. Ugh. Ugh.
Yes.
I'm gonna pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay.
Mr. Wallace, can you please state your full name? Sir, you're on mute. If you can unmute yourself.
Actually, somebody muted. Nicholas Wallace.
Sir, earlier I read some agreed terms. Were those still your agreements?
Yeah, I don't remember you going through all of them, but from what I recall, yes.
Did you need me to read them again to you?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay. You're in agreement to be named joint managing conservators with the mother, even though you live in Florida. You're in agreement to pay $300 a month for child support beginning July 1st, 2025. You're self-employed as an inspector for automobile auctions. Your gross monthly income is $2,000 with a net income of $1,499.72. You're in agreement that there's been no family violence between you and the mother in the last 2 years, and neither one of you is requesting a non-disclosure.
Mhm.
And we were doing a trial amendment to change your name on our documents to Wallace. Those were the agreements I read earlier. Are those still your
If
agreements?
if I wasn't able to agree to that, like for instance, because I know both of us do not want this, if one of us were to disagree, if we disagree that neither one of us want child support, what would be the
Look at the judge's face. He's like insulted. He's like, you're fucking stupid, bro. Holy fucking shit. Viking Jim, I agree. And it's because that's. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on.
what would the situation be at that point? Because she feels like she's being forced into. She did sign up for it, but she redacted it, and now they're like forcing her to do child support. If we
We're in
don't
court,
want
Mr.
I'm
this,
Wallace.
gonna object to,
Mr.
I'm gonna
Wallace,
object.
sustained. We're in court now to set up your child support. So we're gonna do a child support order today. In about 10 minutes, we're gonna be done. You're gonna have to pay child support through the state. So I need you to answer the questions so that I can know your opinion or what your side of the story is, as to why you may not agree to something or not. But we're not doing a no order. We're here in the middle of a trial right now. And so I need to
I
know the answer to your question.
think it was a relevant question.
No, it wasn't.
What's your opinion?
So the question here is, well, my opinion is what counts, right? Um, so the question she asked you was, she read the agreements to you a second time. We're just trying to establish at least the easy parts, whether you agree to those or not.
Mhm. Um, yes, I agree.
Okay. Representative, you go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, are you in agreement to repay cash medical at $60 a month to reimburse the mother for the health insurance?
Yes.
He looks like he's been leaning over doing something here shortly.
Sir, are you in agreement for a state standard possession for over 100 miles, which is one weekend a month?
He did.
Well, the agreement that we have in place already is,
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained. You know, she's asking about contested issues, so don't tell me that you have an agreement. She's asking you if you agree to that, and then if you say no, then we can ask you to explain why you don't agree. That's fine, but you do not have an agreement. Is why we're here having this contested hearing. We've already gotten past the agreed issues. Now we're on the parts y'all are contested on.
And B, that sounds like a hotel night to me. Staying at a hotel, baby. That's what I'd be doing, and then sleeping in. Yes. Courtney did just get a new roof. I saw a picture. Looks very sturdy. We can't take the kiddies to a hotel. Fuck. Fine. Prove me wrong.
So again, I need your testimony to tell me what it is that you're wanting.
So are you in agreement? I'm sorry.
No.
You're not in agreement. Okay, what kind of visitation are you asking for today?
Well, I'm supposed to get him for summers when he's off school. And at least once a month on the weekends. 1 weekend a month.
Okay, sir, do you understand that the state standard for over 100 miles would give you 1 weekend a month every month? And then in the summer times, you would get 42 uninterrupted days at straight days in the summertime?
No, I don't understand it. It's just if it's difficult dealing with this process because it feels so forced and it's not like a cordial back and forth like that. No, that's the first I've heard of that. So
Okay, so you would get 1 weekend a month every month. Then in the summertime, you would get 42 consecutive days in the summer during the summer breaks. Does
okay.
that make a difference? Would you be in agreement to it now?
Mhm. Can I
Yes, sir.
submit my own?
I'm sorry, I interrupted you there. I need a yes or no, and then I don't know if you were saying something else. I didn't hear you.
Am I able to submit my own days that I would get?
Your own days during your monthly visits? Like, are you asking if you can get to pick what weekend every month?
Like more detailed, like holidays and stuff like that.
So the court order is going to state the holidays, but you're going to alternate the holidays. Are you asking if you can pick Christmas, Thanksgiving every year? Because the court order will specify the holidays you get.
Okay. No, I'm not asking that, but um, I have my own document where we've already had it notarized and everything, and um, it has all the detailed holidays, how they will switch per year. I have them this Christmas, and then the following year we alternate. And,
Okay. All right. I'll move on. Sir, you're not in agreement to pay court costs?
I don't think so. No, I think we should split them.
Okay, so you're asking the court to split the court costs between you
Yeah,
and the mother.
or at least give me credit for it.
Okay. All right. I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, just one thing I didn't understand on the medical. Ms. Phillips, earlier you testified you wanted to pay half of the health insurance, half of 158 is $79, not $60.
Okay, then so the
So I don't
set.
know. Oh, hang on.
I'm sorry.
So are you asking for it to be $79 or are you asking for it to be $60?
For it to be half, so it could be the 79, whatever's half.
Okay. And since that's kind of a new thing, Mr. Wallace, do you agree to pay the $79 for the medical?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I mean, y'all are pretty close to reaching an agreement. I don't know why. Maybe we just don't understand or just don't want to have a court order, but y'all pretty much agreed to everything. I mean, what you're asking for is reasonable. And so gonna have joint managing. The part y'all agreed to, those are all fine. Medical is gonna be $79 a month. Y'all have agreed to no back child support, so there's nothing owed for the past, and then child support will begin in July. The standard visitation order sounds very similar to what y'all have agreed to in the past. Any notarized paper you've had before doesn't count after today. This will be the court order here. So that's going to change that. But if y'all want to agree to something different on visitation, I'm not opposed to that. But it sounds like what we're trying to put in as a standard visitation order is pretty much the same thing y'all have been doing. It's 1 weekend per month. Mr. Wallace decides which weekend that is. Hopefully, at the latest by Thursday of that week, if not earlier. I would assume that he would have to get a flight or things like that, and make plans in advance. So you'd want to know, let the mother know when it is you're going to do your weekend. Um, for the summer, you get 42 days instead of 30 days. You can pick the days, but it's a little late for this year. You have to give her notice by April 1st.
Does anybody want to take me for visitation 1 weekend a month? Plus, we could do 30 days in the summer. Is it sad that I totally want that? Come on.
Of which 42 days you want to do. Obviously, April 1st is come and gone, so you can't do it for this year. But for next year, you can do that if you want to choose a different kind of 42 days. The court order will read that you have, if you don't give her notice, then you have the right to visit from June 15th through July 27th. So that'll be the summer visits. Um, if y'all, like I said, if y'all sound like you're pretty agreeable with each other, we're just trying to work out details here mostly. So even if you don't have an agreement, those are the days for summer visits this summer. If you don't give notice before, then those are the visitations for the summer every year. But again, like I said, you can write a letter. If y'all agreed something different too, like I said, I'm not gonna. Uh,
Oh, he's funny at half speed, huh? Apparently I caught up eventually to this case. It always gets me when they go to slow down. Also, let me know in the chat, do we want one more case? This is the end, but I have one more. If you want it, only if you want it.
Pose it. So if y'all have a conversation after court today that you want to pick a different 42 days, that's fine with me. I'm not opposed to that. We're not trying to get involved with that. We want y'all to make good decisions on the visits. Um, but if you don't have an agreement, at least it's specified what those dates are. The holidays are going to be alternating. Not all the holidays are going to be in the court order. It's just going to be some major holidays, basically every other year, which sounds like that's what y'all are already doing anyway. One year father gets Christmas, the other year mother gets Christmas. Then it alternates the opposite way the next year. Same thing with New Year's kind of thing. Children have 2 weeks of winter vacation. So basically, Christmas is in the first week, New Year's is in the second week. So one year you get the first weekend, next year you get the second weekend, and that just kind of alternates pretty neatly there with the Christmas and with New Year's. Um, and then since you live that far away, you can have every spring break. Um, and then those are the general holidays. It doesn't cover every holiday or every religious holiday or anything like that. So if y'all want to specify on your own between yourselves something else, then definitely, again, you can agree to that. But this will change any uh, prior agreements you had if y'all don't have any future agreements on what to do on that. Obviously, we want you, Mr. Wallace, to visit with your child as much as possible within reason. I think mother wants to have some Christmases with the child as well, for example. So that's why we do the alternating. So that way y'all both are sharing some of that time. Um, Court calls bill to Mr. Wallace. All right. So all that will be put into the court order. The Attorney General's office will submit it to me for signature, and they will email you a copy. Even if you don't agree, you have to follow the court orders. You still got to pay child support through the child support system. If you want to avoid not having to come to court again in the future, pay your child support regularly, and we shouldn't have any reason for you to come back to court in the future. All right, y'all are done with court. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.
Thank you.
And as you can see here on the video, the three of us will be participating. There's two more people in my virtual courtroom. They happen to be staff at the Attorney General's office and my court coordinator. So we require these folks being here while we're handling a docket today. So again, they can hear, but they won't be participating in your actual hearing. Now I'm going forward without Ms. Dornack or without Ms. Gunn. I understand there's already been an agreed reset to another date, but you still wanted to address the court. So Mr. Tatum, let me go ahead and have you announce yourself and tell me what I need to hear this morning, or call Mr. Dornack as a witness so I can learn what I need to focus on since the mother and the lawyer are not here.
Thank you, Your Honor. My name is Mark Tatum. I'm an Assistant Attorney General. I represent the Office of the Attorney General Child Support Division. The matter before the court is brought by the Attorney General as petitioner. Mr. and Ms. Dornack are the respondent mother and father, or father and mother, I guess would be the correct phrase. And the subject of the motion is to confirm arrears and modify a prior child support order. Mr. Dornack has appeared today without being served, or actually he says he was served a couple of days ago, but the service return has not yet been returned to the clerk's office. And so we were unaware that he had been served until he showed up this morning. I was contacted by local attorney Mary Gunn. Usually on Thursday or Friday, she indicated that she was out of town, that she could not come today. And of course, as the court knows, since this is a first setting on the current motion, the standard in Texas is for the parties to be allowed one reset in order to get prepared. Also, Miss Dornack was served just barely on May 16th, and so her answer date might have been expired, but it's been very short. So Miss Gunn requested a reset. I gave her the dates that were available: August 25 in person or September 8 by Zoom. Miss Gunn said if it was all the same to everybody else, she would prefer to have September 8th. So I prepared a proposed order and actually sent it off, I think, on Saturday. And Miss Gunn had signed it, and it was in Miss Roxanne Gonzalez' inbox to approve and pass on to the court when Mr. Dornack showed up this morning. So I asked Miss Gonzalez not to approve that until we had spoken further. Mr. Dornack wants to tell the court about how he's in financial distress and really needs a quicker court date. And so I reached out to Miss Gunn, because I do have her cell phone number like she has mine, asked her if she and her client would agree to move the case from the September date to the August date, August 25, and that is an in-person docket. And I did receive a response from Miss Gunn that she said that they would consent to that. So I prepared that order, and I've sent it to Mr. Dornack and Miss Gunn to read and approve. However, Mr. Dornack has something he wants to tell the court today about, I don't know what. And so that's where August 25, I think, is the best that we can do here, Judge. The court's aware of what the situation is with the Attorney General's office and our ongoing maintenance issues with our computer system. And the July docket is, in my opinion, not a viable docket. And indeed, I've not gotten a consent from Ms. Gunn to set the case for the July docket. So I'm asking the court to go ahead and approve the reset to the August 25 in-person docket at this time, and order that Mr. Dornack either sign the reset order or order him on the record to appear that date. And let's see what relief we can get him as quickly as possible at that time.
Okay. Okay, did you want to call Mr. Dornack, or do you just want to let him talk?
No,
or whatever?
Mr. Dornack said he wished to address the court before he signed off on the reset order. So I told him that I would certainly make sure he has the opportunity to do that.
I'm gonna let you do that, Mr. Dornack. However, I can't talk about the substance of the case because I'm not having a hearing that's going to result in a substantive order. So it wouldn't be fair for you to try to tell me all the things about the underlying case that they're not here to defend or oppose or whatever else. So if it has to do with the reset, or I don't know what you want to tell me, but I want to make it real clear I'm not having a hearing on substantive issues. So I'm going to stop you if you try to tell me very much about it, other than what I hear is financial distress. So go ahead and talk, Mr. Dornack. What do you want to tell me?
Yes, ma'am. My intention is not to discuss the case, but I guess the formalities of the reset.
Okay.
I was not notified of the reset, and the Attorney General's office, as he discussed earlier or informed me of, he doesn't represent me. So what formalities should have been taken on that, where I would have been notified? And then my next question to you is, well, I'll let you answer that first. I'm sorry.
Yeah, one thing at a time, I'll forget it. I hear too many cases, sir. Mr. Dornack, what I understood and what I updated my docket with when the state sent me email on May 30th, which would have been what, last Friday was that you weren't served yet because they didn't find an executed return of citation, that you had been served in the court file. So they updated us on the docket and themselves too internally that you had not been served. However, at that point, the state had no duty to you, or they had no idea you'd been served between Friday and Monday, or even before then, because it just wasn't in the court file. However, they do have a policy, which I understand, or which I've seen over the years, that they execute diligently, is they go ahead, if they have your email address and no email address or mailing address, they tell everybody about court dates. We don't really want to default people. So if you want to be here, you have the right to be here, and they tell you anyway whether you've been served or not. That may be why you even know about this case. And in any case, if you'd been served and didn't show up today, I wouldn't have heard the case because the citation wouldn't have been on file the requisite number of days. Even if it had been filed Friday to Monday, that's not 10 days from which for the court to be able to do anything. So I wouldn't have heard this case, and I would have reset with or without your opinion on the reset date. So now you did show up, and I'm going to assume it was by an email from the Attorney General, or maybe Ms. Dordak told you, but somehow you found out about it.
No, I was fine. I was notified. I was notified by mail from the Attorney General's office back in, but I've been working out of town. I work 7/12s, 10/12s. And so I was in contact with the deputies that were going to serve the subpoena. But
citation.
and so yes, I'm citation. I'm sorry, but I've been aware of it. And then actually at on May 30th, yeah, I was served. So
what day were you served? Friday?
But I guess my other thing is, yes, ma'am, Friday morning.
What time? Friday morning.
As soon as I got into town, I told them.
You went.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Well, that's a good thing. That just kickstarts the case. But at that point, the AG didn't know anything about it, and they didn't know anything until you showed up today. And that's not unusual because of the way the court files and the filing system works. So I don't think there's anything that could have prevented the case from at least coming forward to set it or put it back on the docket on some day. And they did the best they could without knowing you were going to be here over the weekend.
So you're saying that I was reset because y'all didn't know I was served, or it's reset because Miss Nunn is on vacation?
It was probably reset because Ms. Gunn was on vacation and couldn't be here.
Is that something that you should approve prior to with both parties?
I don't want lawyers getting my permission for their vacations. They don't know they're going to have cases or be hired on time. That's not the way the system works, sir. And because they relied on the state that has actual access to at least summaries of the court files without being at the courthouse, there was no executed citation on file. So It's just a matter of course that we keep it on the docket. We don't want it to fall off the map, so we do set these cases again. And just so you're aware, for Fayette, it's one of my smaller counties, and so they only have one court date per month. So it's not like they have the luxury of picking several times in the month, like some of my other bigger counties. So that's it's just coincidental that you got served the Friday before the Monday.
Yeah.
And it
Yes, ma'am. And the judicial process I love. I was a trooper for 10 years, so I love it. But my other main priority here is my financial distress.
Okay.
So when I obtained this new job in January, they have been taking out almost 50% of my paycheck. And
Judge, it sounds like
to
he's trying
extend
to
that,
go
and I
into
can't even survive.
I'm going to object at this point,
Okay,
Judge.
all you have to do is say it's financial distress. I don't need any more details. Because everybody is trying to get to court as quick as they can. I get that. But it's bad timing for everybody. The state is actually converting into a new system, and it's got everybody worried about how it's going to affect our dockets so much that they don't want me to have large dockets or put many more cases on because they're going to have they need a learning curve. This doesn't happen, but I think the last time it happened was 30 years ago, and I was a member of the AG's office at that point. That's why I know. So 30 years later, it's happening again, and it happens to be while you're coming to court. So
at
it's
my cost.
Well, it's not personal, but nothing ever is, sir. Nothing is ever at your convenience. It's the court calendars is what drives everything, and once a month is all I've got. So the only thing you're asking, the difference between July and August, and July, the state already, where am I? It's it's probably already at its cap, Mr. Tatum, and then on the other hand, Ms. Gunn doesn't have any knowledge of it, and that's what I'm.
So I think there's a miscommunication that happens here. Mr. Tatum, I think, heard cap and he thought child support cap. The judge is referring to the docket cap that they have put in place during the transition time so that there's not gigantic dockets of 50 plus cases, which we have seen, absolutely seen in Texas. But Mark is about to fucking go into the case. Thanks, Mark. Good fucking God.
Month away from the July.
Well, I don't think he's at the cap limit, Judge, but it is significant. He is currently ordered to pay. Excuse me. I thought I had the file up. Give me. I think it's 12. I think his child support is 1,200. Is that right, Mr. Dornack?
Yes, sir. And then insurance 300, arrears 150,
Yeah.
1650 total is what.
1,200 for child support, 300 a month for cash medical support. Then there was a judgment taken, and this order is just from last December. Well, actually, it's from the hearing was in March, but it wasn't finalized until December. And there was a balance, I guess, from a prior order, a temporary order, perhaps, of $5,000 in child support, 2,300 in medical support, give or take. And so amounts were set for him to pay on that, $100 a month on the child support arrears and $50 a month on the medical support arrears.
And the state filed this action at Mr. Dornack's behest because of the possible change in income, or?
There was a request for us to review the case for possible modification. It was reviewed and it was determined that some sort of modification could possibly be appropriate. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and when did y'all file it? I didn't look at that real close.
Let's see, our motion for confirmation and modification was filed. Okay.
April 25th.
April 25th. Yes, ma'am.
So that's barely a month and a week, maybe 5 weeks. Okay. When lawyers are involved, it's just the way it works, Mr. Dornack. Most of our cases are pro se, and I try to work with people's calendars as much as I can, but I can't change my calendar. I set them a year in advance practically so that we know what days are available. I never know the lawyers' dates because they're very busy people. They're not required to tell me their schedules. We don't know who's going to sign up for what case when. And so if she picked that date and Ms. Gunn agreed to an earlier date, you originally agreed to September, push it up to August, Mr. Tatum, is that what I heard?
Miss Gunn requested the September date that the court has for us, and so that's what I picked. And
then
not knowing that Mr. Dornack was going to show up or that he'd even been served, so he's requested an earlier date because he says he needs help as soon as he can get it.
Can I
excuse me? Let me finish responding to the judge first, Mr. Dornack. So I reached out to Miss Gunn, even though she's on vacation. She was kind enough to respond, say, yes, we can do the August date instead. And I've already prepared that order and sent it to everybody by DocuSign to sign, but Mr. Dornack's not signed it yet, as far as I know.
And
go ahead now.
Well, Mr. Tatum, there's nothing the state can do administratively at this point, even if without violating a court order, obviously, because y'all have the right to do administrative income withholding. Y'all could not change it on your own at this time, or you wouldn't.
It looks like we have sent the administrative withholding order March 26, 2025 for exactly the amounts that are previously ordered without adjusting them administratively either up or down.
Yeah, well, you can't go any lower than what's ordered. That's true, but the
As a general rule.
The only difference it would make would be the arrears of 150, and that's not what Mr. Dornack is arguing the point of this current support, not the arrears payment, I believe. Okay, that helps. Okay, Mr. Dornack, what do you want to say after all that?
No, I just think this is an attempt by the Mrs. Dornack's attorney to prolong the collection of the higher support payment, and is my understanding, these calculations are what they are based on my income, and so I don't know what kind of defense that she would provide or try to that would alter this payment. As I was told in my divorce decree, it is what it is, Mr. Dornack. We take your payments and it's subtracted or multiplied by 20%, and it is what it is. So I just don't know
Okay.
the practicality or the.
Let
I'm
me
sorry,
tell
go ahead.
you, let me tell you a little bit you might not know, which includes the part of the family code, which is the law on modifications, which is just because we're going to hear it, or I hear it in August instead of September, doesn't mean you get no relief. If I look at the case right, Ms. Heather Dornack was served May 16th. So the earliest I could start a modification would be June 1st. That would be true whether I heard it today, next month, or the next month. So she can't change the fact of the law that I can retroactively start the modification back to notice to her. So it would ultimately help you, even if it doesn't help you right now or the next month till you get to court, if you prevail.
That's great.
You get that?
That's great. That's
Can you live with that?
yes, ma'am. That's what all I would.
Oh.
Yeah, that's, hey, as long as it goes back to arrears or whatever, I know it's gonna have to pay it sooner or later. I'm fine. I just didn't want to get
Well,
lost again. I'm just
yeah,
trying to come up a little bit.
if you prevail, you get a modification to lower your child support and even possibly your medical support, then it goes back to, I look at what date she was served and the first of the month after that. If that's when the due dates are, it would be June 1st. That's when you might get relief, but not till I see it. And I order that in whenever that is, August. So if I had known that, I would have said that
Well, thank you.
months ago.
That's all.
I didn't know what you were arguing. So
Well, that's it. I'm trying to get my life back in order, and that's it. As long as it goes towards something.
I'm gonna ask you to be patient and you'll get to court. I cannot promise you any results. I gotta hear the case first or y'all have to resolve it. If you can resolve it for me, that's even better if y'all reach agreements based on the facts of your income and what have you. But again, you don't have a chance to argue anything and she's not here to argue it either, other than
Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate your time.
Okay, it's not gonna be by Zoom, it's in person, so tell me you're gonna block out your calendar so you can be there and we don't have to, if you go out
Oh,
of.
I'll be there.
Okay, August 25th.
No vacation for me. I can't afford it.
I'm checking my calendar. August 25th is an in-person at LaGrange at the main courthouse on the second floor, main court. Okay, then, Mr. Dornack, I think did you get him to sign the reset order, Mr. Tatum, or not?
It should be in his email inbox, Your Honor, by DocuSign. Are you familiar with DocuSign and how that works, Mr. Dornack?
Yes, sir.
So if you would, either go ahead and sign that now while we wait, or Judge, you can just order him to appear.
Yeah, Mr. Dornack, the way it works is that if you sign that order, well, and then I know you're on official notice because you signed it. It's got all the information on there. You didn't put Zoom, did you? Take out the Zoom and put in person, Mr.?
I changed it up, I believe, Judge. I think I got it right.
Okay, if you got it right, make sure it's in person no matter what the order says, but I'll fix it if I have to. But I'm putting you on legal notice because you're here.
I can sign it.
Okay, sign it.
Okay.
But the way the law works is you're in court. I'm putting you on legal notice August 25th, 2025 at 8:30 in person in LaGrange. Now say whatever you have to say.
Will that be in front of Judge Steinhauser or in front of you?
No, it's in front of me. That borrow the courtroom when I'm there and they're
cool.
not there. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Then be sure you're there because this is a civil matter. If you don't show up, you get defaulted. You're not there to tell your side. You pretty much lose your case. So be present or you can be defaulted if you don't bother to show up. And I hope we have your signature on the reset order, but even if we don't, you're on legal notice, sir. Got it?
Thank you. Yes,
Thank you. You're excused and you can click the end meeting button. Thank you for your patience and cooperation.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Dornack.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Dornack has exited the virtual courtroom. That'll conclude this hearing. I'll stop my live stream.
She stopped the live stream, and so did I, in about a minute and 35. I'll say goodbye to you and you, but don't you worry, tomorrow too. Seriously, tomorrow is Tuesday. Get ready for tacos, baby. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all your support, all the laughs that you give me. Oh, I love it. I love it. Can't get enough of it. all the attention. It's incredible. I love it. I need it. There was barely any TPOs today. I watched them. It was like 20 minutes. And the judge had an annoying voice. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I have more court that I got today, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Anyways, I love you guys. Remember that I love you, and I'm proud of you. And wrong fucking button, Paisley. It's gonna beep. And don't beep.
Please
I'll see you in the next video. Love you. Bye.